Well, I must say, the title speaks for itself, doesn't it? This is gonna be a fun one. It was a dark and stormy Monday, even though this is the brightest shade of baby blue I've ever seen in my life. Like any other day of autumn, the sky was overcast, but the students of Middling Middle School were unfazed by the gloom. Instead, the halls were unusually charged with electric excitement and spooktacular anticipation.
And last, but certainly not least, today marks the first day of Halloween Spirit Week.
Oh, thank God there's voice... sorry, buddy, I missed your boo there. Thank God there's voice acting. I don't know if people actually like listening to my voice.
It's time to decorate your homeroom!
Well, PA guy might just be my favorite character so far. Oh, shut up.
First place gets a prize.
Aw, sad PA guy.
That's right! The first place class gets their own pumpkin pie and ice cream party!
Fuck yeah!
So, put your best effort in, everyone!
You bet your ass we're gonna try and win pumpkin pie and ice cream. Are you kidding me?
If you want.
Yes.
More info online or, around.
Aw, come on, sad PA guy.
Yeah! Keep an eye out for those Spirit Week posters, y'all. Happy spooky season, mascots!
I heard Mrs. Ramirez's class had something really good planned for their deco. Like guaranteed when good.
Ooh.
Yeah. They're just trying to intimidate us by spreading rumors.
Stu Den. Stu Den. Oh, genius. I get you. You think you... Yeah.
Besides, remember last year? Everyone said that one homeroom class had it in the bag, but then there was that fire.
Oh yeah, the 8-foot skeleton incident?
Ooh.
Exactly. Did they ever find out who let that skunk loose?
I don't think so.
Well, the point is, who knows what'll happen this year?
Oh, well, this year will be the greatest year of them all.
I guess we do have a lot of talented people in our class, like...
Oh, hey, Tabby!
Our main character.
Good morning, Tabby.
Yes. Tabby was not having a good morning. In fact, Tabby never had a good morning when she was at school. There were too many people looking her way, watching her every move, waiting for her to trip up so they could laugh at her.
They're always sneering at me. Like they think their little cliques are too good for me.
Ah, Tabby, I think your way of thinking, well, valid? Perfectly okay to think these feelings. Yeah, no.
Hey, Tabby!
Jonathan!
Like I'm less than them. Less than human.
This is reminding me from that scene from Meet the Robinsons where like the villain's walking down the hall and they're like, oh, hey dude, how you doing? You alright? You want to come to my house later? They all hated me. I'm really enjoying this already.
Man, Tabby is so cool.
Yeah, the real aloof type, like a spy or a secret agent, or somebody who's undercover.
Pretty sure those are all the same thing.
Yeah, kinda.
I always want to ask her to hang out, but I'm like super intimidated. Think she would say yes?
Sure, you never know unless you try.
Just because we're in the same homeroom? Not a chance.
Oh, come on. You can't make those odds zero right off the bat. You never know. Doesn't hurt to ask.
Way too cool for us.
Ah, come on, Stu and Den. Where's T? Tabby grew out of wanting friends fast. Endless bullying will do that to some... Oh. Shoot. She couldn't even imagine being that naive anymore. Tabby was fully aware this was her destiny. To be alone, unwanted, forcibly isolated.
Excuse me. Need to get to my locker.
Eden! I like your hair. You know, it's interesting. You remind me of someone. This other guy with green hair. In fact, he has sort of a similar hairstyle and... I'm probably imagining things. Yes. Oh.
Hello? You good?
Molten rage and mild embarrassment bubbled through Tabby as she stared into the face of her ultimate nemesis, Eden. Eden, something or other. Last names didn't matter. It was how he treated her that made her seethe with frustration.
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Always ready to tear me down at the first sign of weakness. I can see it in his eyes now. He's going to.
Listen, are you gonna move or do I have to move you?
Eden, what have you walked into, my brother?
I don't want to be late to class. Come on, let me through.
Was that a threat?
What?
Tabby slapped a hand to her mouth, worrying she had thrown herself in unnecessary danger. Who knew how bullies like Eden might react to being questioned? Oh my god. Oh god, just. She looked around in vain at the crowd milling around them, not seeing a single friendly face.
I can't trust any of these bystanders to stand up for me. If only there was a teacher around.
Is that the bell? I'm just gonna go for it. Excuse me.
Abby watched in horror as Eden reached for her. Well, technically, I guess I'm hesitating making this choice. Fuck it, hesitate! Before she even knew what was happening, Tabby's hand moved on defensive instinct. But she just barely managed to stop herself before it made contact with Eden's face. In that moment, fear of being admonished somehow overruled her fear of Eden.
Come on, kids. Class is almost starting. Why are the two of you still loitering around?
Hello, Mr. Teacher. I like your mint green tie. Tabby spun towards her homeroom teacher's voice in recognition, searching for his authoritative presence.
Mr. Teacher, did you see him?
Sorry, Teach. Tabby just wouldn't move.
The hallway rapidly emptied out around them, and as many stragglers and witnesses fled to their respective classrooms.
I just need to get my books. Promise.
Is there a reason you can't move away from Eden's locker, Tabby?
Tabby gawked incredulously at her homeroom teacher, and then stepped off to the side, shaking her head no.
How could Mr. Teacher take the side of a known bully?
Come on now. Honestly, she should have known no one would be on her side, not even the ones in charge. No, Tabby, come on. No. No. Can't be sinking into these feelings of sadness.
Since I'm on my way to class too, and I have the worst headache from moving pumpkins all morning across campus, I'll give you all a pass. You better be in your seats by the time I get there. But no running. That includes you too, Caleb. I know you're just waiting for your friends, but don't let them make you late.
Huh? Oh. Huh. I like your green hair, dude. Okay. For just a second, Tabby considered speaking up and pleading her case, but the moment passed as quickly as it came. Mr. Teacher didn't bother to linger, all but jogging off to greet a different group of students. Tabby stared sullenly at his back before walking briskly in the direction of her classroom.
All right, settle down, kids.
Mr. Teacher attempted to rein his homeroom class in for the 5th time that morning. But just like every other year, the students were too excited about Halloween Spirit Week to pay any attention. He decided to launch into his 3-part lesson on the history of Halloween anyway.
Halloween originated from the pagan festival Samhain.
Hell, I'd rather take learning about Halloween any day of the week than, like, 70% of what I learned in school. I'm sure it would have been more worth my time, right?
Which marked the end of the harvest and the dwindling berry between humans and the other world.
Oh, I see. Exposition. A portion of the students fell for his well-rehearsed hook and began to quiet down.
It's easy to forget about all of that in the modern-day Halloween traditions. But if you take a closer look, you'll see that many have deeper historical roots. It's really quite fascinating stuff.
I agree with that. Even so, a handful of students continued to discuss their Halloween plans in hushed excitement.
I can't wait for you guys to see how awesome I made my costume for the Halloween party. The lady with the super freaky haunted house on my block helped me design it.
I still can't decide whether to be a zombie werewolf or a vampire ghost.
Be a zombie werewolf vampire ghost.
Unless... Do you think I could be a zombie werewolf vampire ghost?
Oh, well, you know what, guys? I'm sorry. I made this game, actually. I had to, I was waiting for the perfect time to tell you. God damn it. Well, chalk that one up for, off the visual novel bucket list. Predict what someone's gonna say.
Oh, are we talking costumes? $20, my monster costume is the scariest.
Alright, Eden, you're getting close to being my favorite character, but you still gotta prove it. PA guy is still at the top of the list. How fitting for the bully to love terrifying people.
Your face already scares me.
Oh, roast. The other kids nearby laughed in surprise too, which caught Mr. Teacher's attention.
Is something funny? Tabby, do you have something to share with the class?
Tabby felt her stomach drop. I like that face. Tabby felt her stomach drop as the whole class turned to stare at her. Of course, he let his favorite students get away with talking during class, but not her. Oh, excuse me, but not her. Tabby tried to swallow the lump forming in her throat, but she just became more nervous by the second.
I think we're all just excited to dress up for Halloween. I know I can't wait to decorate homeroom.
That's great, but I still have 30 more exciting slides about Halloween throughout the decades.
Yes. Shush. That's twice now you've groaned. The class collectively groaned. Tabby breathed a quiet sigh of relief.
It's really quite interesting. There's fascinating tie-ins with the Day of the Dead and...
Dia de los Muertos.
The glorious gourds of harvest. I could wax poetic about it.
You already gave this presentation before.
Well, I did more research, and now I have extra footnotes. Oh, fine. I don't know how I was supposed to have a normal class this week anyway. Why don't we put a twist on it by giving historical context to our proposed decorations?
What, reenact the Salem witch trials?
That's a cool idea. We could pretend to burn you.
What? He totally just threatened me in front of the class! Surely Mr. Teacher won't let that slide!
Yeah, Tabby would be such a good witch.
I don't know if the school board would approve of that.
He's just going to brush it off?
Tabby. Poor Tabby.
All right, kids. I'll start dividing the class decoration types into groups and share a mini lesson about each of them. So, listen up. For instance, why do you think pumpkins became associated with Halloween?
Honestly, I have no idea. I never thought about it.
There's something else that's happening around the same time. If you want to take care of the jack-o'-lanterns, try and answer.
Eager hands shot up in the air. Mr. Teacher picked out one of them.
Because it's harvest season?
Ding, 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 ding! You got it! Harvest season is decorative gourd season, folks.
Huh. I did not know that. That's interesting, actually.
Carving pumpkins was a tradition before Halloween.
Wow. I guess that makes sense.
But the term jack-o'-lantern started with Stingy Jack, an Irish legend that will give you the heebie-jeebies.
Tabby tuned the rest... No, don't tune out the rest of the lecture. I'm actually interested in learning this. That was interesting, goddammit. Tabby tuned the rest of the lecture out, only listening for what themed decoration was being offered next. Mr. Teacher droned on and on, until finally...
Why do you think Halloween was associated with death?
I guess just evil spirits, maybe?
Whoever gets this one gets to be in charge of making all of our skulls and skeletons.
Tabby was never a class participation kind of girl, but now her hand flew up in the air. Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, eyebrows raised in acknowledgement. By some Halloween miracle, she could see her name forming on his lips.
Probably because winter is coming, right?
God damn it, Eden, you're so close. You're so close to being my favorite character. So close. Come on, brother. Can you do it?
Back then, lots of people died in the winter.
That's correct, Eden. Winters 2,000 years ago meant...
Tabby seethed at the injustice of it all.
How could they do this to me?
Tabby was the one with a special connection with skeletons, but every single year. Well, only last year, but last year, Eden swept in and snatched what she wanted, what she deserved.
Hey! I had my hand up. He interrupted.
Mr. Teacher looked at Tabby, taken aback, as if he had forgotten she even existed.
Oh! Well, you can answer the next question.
Tabby gritted her teeth. She really didn't want to let this go, but everyone was staring and her stupid cheeks were getting redder and redder.
That's just stupid! It's not fair!
Even as Tabby clapped a hand to her mouth at her outburst, Mr. Teacher raised an eyebrow in judgment. The angry part of Tabby wished she could smack the disapproving expression off his face. But her frustration withered away as she crumpled into herself, heart-sinking.
I'll always be the first to get picked on. And the last pick for everything else.
Aw. Well, now I do feel bad, Tabby. A little bit.
How about you let me continue the lesson and the two of you can work together? This is Spirit Week, and I really don't want to give any detentions for disrupting class.
Sounds cool. I'm sure Tabby will come up with something really freaky. You know, given how into this stuff she is.
Oh yeah, totally. She's the type to freak people out. It's awesome.
Too bad Tabby works alone.
Like Batman. Ooh, or the Joker.
What? Batman and Joker, that's Robin and Harley Quinn. Yeah, never mind. Eden grinned at Tabby. Oh. Tabby felt a horrified shiver run down her spine, and she braced herself for what was coming.
She looks like him too, if you turned his smile upside down.
Batman or Robin? God damn it, Eden, you're slipping from grace here, my guy. You're starting to become like my third or fourth favorite character. You gotta pick things up here. The other students tittered at that in typical middle school fashion.
Hey, for real! Tabby would be the best villain!
Alright, Tonathan, come on, my guy. You think your orange creamsicle skin can... I don't know where I was going with that.
They're laughing at me now.
Aw.
They're all laughing at me. Because of him!
Settle down, class. And that's not nice, Eden.
Only joking. Tabby got me good earlier too. That's just how we do, right, Tabs?
Eden held out a fist towards Tabby. Tabby fixed him with her best death glare.
Classic Tabby.
Well, Tabby, if you want, you can work with Eden and...
I am not working with Eden.
There's still a couple of other decorations up for grabs.
She scowled at Mr. Teacher.
He's still picking Eden over me? Why? Why do they all love him so much?
I don't know.
What do they see in a bully like him?
The class moved on, but Tabby just sat reliving the feeling of everyone laughing at her. Soon all the decorations were assigned and the class split off into their working groups. Slowly, the room began to look more and more spooktacular. Oh yeah, looks nice. I like the paper skull line over there. That's nice. As a reward for their hard work, Mr. Teacher handed out spooky stickers spouting Halloween facts all the while. But of course, he skipped over Tabby entirely.
Hey, how come Tabby isn't helping?
Psst. Tabby, do you want to join my group?
All right, Jonathan, you're working up the ranks here. You might just be above Eden at this point, I must say. And Stu and Den also get some good brownie points. I don't know.
It's not too late to team up if you want to do skeletons.
All right, Eden. Well, you're offering it a hand. You're working your way up. Oh yeah, I guess I haven't said where Tabby is. Right now she's at the top just because she's the protagonist. But we'll see. We'll see where that ends up. Oh wait, no. I forgot about PA Guy. I'm sorry. PA Guy, Tabby, Jonathan, Eden, Stu, Den. Reject Stu's invitation. Reject. Well, I mean, I guess of these three, it makes. I guess I'll have to reject Stu. I'm sorry. They were clearly taunting her. No point in staying around a bunch of bullies. Tabby started packing up her bag, watching the clock anxiously so she could be the first one out of class when the bell rang.
I really think you should have been the one to do skeletons. We can talk to Mr. Teacher together if you like.
Callum. Shoot. Mr. Teacher said your name, and I've already forgotten how it's pronounced. Callum, I believe. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. Tabby's mind struggled to make sense of what was happening.
Wait, is he talking to me? What was his name again?
She had never even spoken to this popular kid before, much less seen him approach her general vicinity.
He's not making fun of me, is he?
That's a good face too from Tabby.
Listen, you're not the only one Eden's burned before. Maybe together, we can finally knock him down a peg.
This isn't a trick, is it?
I am Calum.
Calum. God damn it, I got it wrong. I'm sorry, my guy. Calum. Alright, you're working your way up the character list here.
And this is no trick. I'll stand by your side.
Calum patted Tabby on the shoulder and she recoiled, almost hissing at him. Personal space, please. But then, oddly enough, Tabby felt a tingle on her shoulder where he had touched her, like butterflies were dancing on her skin. Gross. She wasn't developing a crush, was she? Calum gave her a small smile.
So what do you say? Shall we tackle this together?
Wasn't that what she had always wanted? To have someone see her, really see her as a person worth talking to? Now here was someone who was ready to back her up. At last.
Okay, we can stay behind after class then.
Perfect. I'll get Eden to stick around and we can tell Mr. Teacher what happened.
What? No! Just the two of us. I don't want him around.
No. Tabby, trust me, he needs to be there.
No! He'll just ruin everything by charming Mr. Teacher, like always. I'm not going if Eden is.
Tabby crossed her arms.
All right, as you wish.
Calum inclined his head at Tabby in thoughtful agreement. As the rest of the students continued to work on bringing the Halloween spirit to life, Tabby bounced in her seat, almost vibrating in place with sudden energy. She barely heard Mr. Teacher announce to the class that it was time to clean up. Not long after, the bell rang. The other students shuffled out the door until there was only Calum and Tabby left. Tabby turned her critical gaze towards Mr. Teacher and prepped herself to approach. Ooh, music change. Yeah. Mr. Teacher hummed to himself, trying to ignore the grouchy elephant in the room. He reminded himself that he had become a teacher because he wanted to inspire the next generation. He genuinely cared about his lessons and wanted everyone to enjoy his classes. But for reasons out of his control, kids could be real shitheads. You are not wrong, unfortunately. There were kids who tuned his lessons out, kids who rolled their eyes at everything he said, even kids who managed to scowl at him for a full hour. Kids like Tabitha Bones. Her expression had been so disarming, so spooky, that he had been too nervous to even go near her. Now she was standing in front of his desk with her arms crossed and an equally wicked scowl on her face. What reason did she have to glower at him? If anything, if the horror stories from the other teachers were to be believed, rumor had it, last Halloween, a girl with a permanently gloomy demeanor had attempted to bring butcher bones in as decorations. While the girl in question didn't have any bones on hand now, Mr. Teacher willed himself to be brave. He cleared his throat once, twice.
Tabby, can I help you?
Tabby took a deep breath, sensing the reservations Mr. Teacher had towards her. She was glad Caleb was with her.
I don't think you should let Eden decorate skeletons instead of me.
Mr. Teacher stared at her in stunned silence. Tabby sped onwards, afraid to lose her courage.
He's clearly a bully, and if you side with him, you're a bad teacher.
Mr. Teacher furrowed his brow, lip trembling ever so slightly. Ouch! He was hurt by Tabby's words more than either of them probably expected. She could probably sniff out his people-pleasing tendencies. But he could just as easily put those away, especially to call out students who had stepped out of line.
Look, I'm not sure why you wouldn't let Eden get to his locker, or why you said he was scary looking. Yes, I heard what you said.
Tabby glared at him, readying herself for an accusation. Mr. Teacher braced himself against his desk, trying to remain calm at the obvious hatred being beamed towards him.
I don't know what's going on between the two of you, but I'm going to call Eden here and we can resolve this once and for all.
No, I don't want to be near him. I want you to listen. Caleb agrees with me too.
Tabby gestured at the spot next to her, only to be met with empty space. Mr. Teacher's frown deepened and he flexed his fingers in agitation. What kind of bluff was she trying to pull? There were no other students left in the room.
I'm sure we can resolve this right now.
Mr. Teacher got up from his desk, glad to be out of range from Tabby's burning gaze. He poked his head out of the classroom, hoping Eden hadn't wandered off already. Luckily, the boy was still close by, chatting with a familiar green-haired student. Oh no. Caleb, don't tell me. Mr. Teacher felt vindicated at seeing Caleb out in the hallway. Clearly, Tabby had been mistaken.
Eden, could you step inside for a moment?
Eden raised his eyebrows, but didn't hesitate to re-enter the classroom.
What's this about?
No!
Use your words, Tabby.
Tabby exhaled loudly. From the outside, she appeared to be flaring her nostrils in deep frustration.
You took the decorations I wanted. Again!
Eden shrugged.
No biggie. Let's do it together after class.
No biggie? Yes, biggie! You always get what you want.
Huh? Like when?
You get away with everything! Like that time you put gum in my hair and I had to cut off my pigtails.
When did I do that? I haven't even chewed gum since the 3rd grade. Oh, wait. Oh, that was you? I totally forgot.
That's it? Do you have any idea how long it took to grow it back?
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's not funny! And Caleb agrees.
Caleb? What's Caleb got to do with this?
Mr. Teacher pinched the bridge of his nose, feeling an uncomfortable tingling in his brow, like a headache was settling in. Or worse, a migraine. Children were always so noisy. He hoped they would settle down soon, not that they ever did. Never fast enough, never listening to his pleas to be quiet.
Be quiet.
But...
Be quiet.
Tabby and Eden both fell silent, unused to this harsher tone from their homeroom teacher.
There. Was that so hard?
No, It didn't need to be. All those years of being a doormat for kids much too young to know better than him. Waves of resentment washed over him, built up from the countless instances of holding his tongue, of being the adult. That's right. He was in charge, not them. He needed to reclaim his space and authority.
Both of you, get out.
But
Teach? You look a bit weird. You know, pukey.
using Mr. Teacher as a distraction, I see.
That was low, even for Eden.
Please get out.
Mr. Teacher's voice was strained and whispering. Eden probably hurt his feelings.
Alright. See you later, Teach.
What a jerk.
Mr. Teacher clutched his head, gritting his teeth.
Oh, should I get a nurse?
He didn't trust himself to speak. Instead, he shut his eyes tight, hoping Tabby would be magically gone when he opened them again. Oh, for God's sakes, Tabby, just leave the damn room. God, neither of these options are good. Hover awkwardly. He could hear Tabby shuffling from foot to foot in front of his desk. It also sounded like she was opening her mouth and closing it again every few seconds, which irritated him even more. Mr. Teacher's eyes snapped open. The sight of Tabby still standing around and glaring at him made his blood pressure spike. Why was that brat still here? Hadn't he told her to leave? She never listened, always thinking she was in the right, always thinking she knew best, and a little brat like her? The tingling got worse, making it harder for Mr. Teacher to think clearly. Only one line of thought made it through the mental fog.
Mr. Teacher?
Oh no. Tabby shrunk back fearfully as Mr. Teacher smiled a too wide smile with too many teeth.
You brats just love testing my patience, don't you? Bad students get detention, but that would be a bigger punishment for me than you. After all, children who don't listen are no better than vermin. And as we know from history, vermin deserve a far worse punishment. Can you guess what that is?
Tabby backed away, bumping immediately into a desk. The blood seemed to drain from her face.
Oh, come on, Tabby. There's a fun little sticker in it for you.
My dude, you've completely lost the plot.
Tabby, you should have paid more attention in class instead of scowling all the time. The answer is extermination.
Oh no. Tabby jumped out of the way as Mr. Teacher's brand new claws just barely missed her arm.
Claws?
The desk that Tabby had just been standing in front of crumpled beneath Mr. Teacher's weight.
Oh.
Oh no, Tabby. No. What landed and stared at Tabby from the wreckage with cool reptilian eyes was not Mr. Teacher. Instead... Oh my god. He, or it, that's a cool design by the way. He, or it, lunged at her once more. She dove under the nearest desk, but she didn't dare to stay there for long. Tabby crawled towards the next seat of tables as fast as her poor athletic record allowed. The desk she had just been under flew across the room and shattered against the wall. With desperation and fear coursing through her, Tabby scrambled to her feet.
Please, 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 please.
Gunning it for the classroom door, Tabby pounced on the doorknob.
Of
Why is it locked?
Of course. Why would it work? Everything else seems to be going wrong. Why not this too?
Oh my god. From behind she could hear a warbled snarling before a dark shape sailed overhead. Smash! The pulverized debris of what had once been a desk rained down on her. Tabby shrieked and covered her head. She tried the doorknob again, despite knowing it was no use.
Help! Someone! Help!
Tabby whipped around, pressing herself into the door like she might be able to phase through it. The monster approached her with a bloodthirsty aura and clever eyes. He had her cornered, and he knew it. At the sight of his misshapen, uncanny, too-sharp grin, Tabby's legs gave out like her body knew the fight would be over soon. She couldn't blame them. Everyone always abandoned her in the end. Why try anymore?
It's useless. I'm useless.
There was nothing more she could do. It's not like Mr. Teacher was ever going to listen. He never had before, so why would this time be any different? She just wished, for once in her miserable life, someone would have really truly stayed by her side. Oh.
Hiya, Tabby. I'm... What the crap?
Oh my god. It's Jevil from Deltarune. Strength. Cool name. Cool design, too. Hello. You are dead. Oh. Mr. Monster chased after the new nuisance, his jaws snapping wildly. Whatever the tiny creature was, it zipped around the room in a panic.
I'm Strength, and I'm here to guide you on your... What the bleep is this? Tabitha Bones, do something!
What do you want from me? Tabby gaped at the little guy in alarm. She had no energy left. The fight was as good as over. What did it want from her?
Don't just stand there! Help!
Tabby took one long look at Mr. Monster's terrifying teeth and the tiny red being running around the desks, and hightailed it to the corner of the room, as far from them as possible.
It's a goddamn monster! I'm just a little girl! What are you anyway?
I'm a pixie! And I can't handle this on my own!
Mr. Monster swiped its strength, who darted into a high corner of the ceiling, temporarily out of his reach. The pixie huffed, eyeing Mr. Monster nervously. He threw an equally nervous glance at Tabby. Suddenly and unexpectedly, Strength brightened up, snapping his finger.
Yeah, I've got it. I'll just give you some candy.
I don't want candy from a pixie that just appeared out of nowhere, my guy. I don't know you or your candy. Strength, see, what is that? Strength whipped out a sparkly wand the size of his body from who knows where.
Candy? How the hell is a piece of candy gonna help us right now? Also, I don't take candy from strangers.
Yes, good.
Eat it or we'll die! It's magic!
Mr. Monster pounced at Strength, swiping his claws at the shiny object.
Yeah, no toys in class.
The wand flew out of Strength's hand and spun towards Tabby.
Use the wand!
Tabby grabbed it and let out a few practice swings, preparing to bash whatever came her way with it.
Not like that!
Despite zipping through the air to avoid Mr. Monster's jaws, Strength's voice reached Tabby with surprisingly clear instructions.
The candy, Tabby! You have to eat the candy!
While Mr. Monster was still fixated on Strength, Tabby weighed her options. I don't know, let's see. Get eaten by a monster, eat a piece of candy. Sounds pretty, clear-cut to me. I will eat the candy, angrily. Ah, shut up, man. Tabby gripped the wand with fear and fury. She hated being told what to do, but if it was a choice between suspicious candy and the jaws of a monster, she'd take the jawbreaker any day. But it better not be strawberry flavored. Brilliant. Just pure brilliance. You look like a very poorly done Harley Quinn cosplay. Tabby tried to reorient herself in space, frantically looking for the whereabouts of the monster in the room. Mr. Monster stared back at Tabby, a bewildered expression on his face. He didn't seem to be coming after her just yet, but Tabby quickly scanned the room for any sign of strength. Had he been eaten already? She had been ready to rip into him, demanding an explanation for, well, everything. She glanced down at herself, trying to pinpoint the source of the soft jingling noise she kept hearing.
What is this?
A giant pom-pom obstructed the part of her view, beyond which all she could see was a gaudy mix of red and black.
What the hell is this? Is this a joke? I knew it. This is a goddamn prank, isn't it?
Well, that's new. It's okay, everything will be okay, we can work with this.
Strength continued rambling, but was nowhere to be seen. Was his voice coming from inside Tabby's brain?
Great. I definitely imagined him.
Well, it, seems like we're stuck together. Yup, I can't move at all, and that's totally okay. I'll just take you through everything. They didn't warn me about this, but it's fine.
God, this is it. I finally cracked. Even my imaginary friends are freaking out.
Tabby started to shake, half crying, half laughing at the ridiculous situation. The bells on her horrific outfit jingled with her tremors. Mr. Monster tilted his head at the sound, eyes glinting. Ding ting, clink tingling.
Watch out!
Mr. Monster was before her in one pounce, his claws raked through the air, straight towards Tabby's head. By pure instinct, that was a great roll. By pure instinct, Tabby dodged the attack, doing a backflip across the room.
Huh? Did I just do that? How?
That's the power of strength.
But I don't have strength. I can barely do a push-up.
You do now, Tabs. With me at the helm, we're unstoppable. Now get us out of here.
Tabby did feel a little stronger than usual, but a backflip? Maybe that candy was magic.
What else can I do?
Throw desks! As Mr. Monster charged towards her again, Tabby leapt towards a nearby desk. With no effort at all, she lifted it with one hand. Tabby lobbed the desk directly at his snout with more accuracy than she had ever been shown in her terrible athletic career.
Bullseye! Not so scary anymore, are you? Go on, try again! I've got more desks with your name on it!
Mr. Monster pawed at the ground, stampeding towards Tabby with obvious rage. Tabby sprung away easily, sending Halloween decorations flying.
Making a mess? You deserve detention!
Ooh, she's already hitting him with those one-liners. What are you, a Marvel hero? She tossed chairs, two at a time, at Mr. Monster. He winced and slowed down as each one made impact with his head. Taking advantage of his hindered speed, Tabby snatched the string of skulls and caution tape off the walls. Now she was the one stampeding towards Mr. Monster. Tabby grinned, knowing he wouldn't be able to lay a single claw on her. She made several tight turns around the beast, wrapping the decorations around his legs with speed and agility. Mr. Monster thrashed around violently, but the makeshift binding seemed to hold for now.
Wait. Oh, there's something familiar about that monster. Those sparkles, maybe? Isn't that magic?
The decorations around Mr. Monster's legs began to tear.
Ah! Tabby, that's not gonna hold! Quick, use the wand!
On cue, Tabby swung the wand at Mr. Monster and beat him with it.
Not like that! Wave it around!
Tabby aggressively waved the wand at Mr. Monster, managing to smack him in the face again. Mr. Monster slumped back, eyes rolling in pain.
I said around! Like, around!
Tabby moved her arms in a wider circle, swinging the wand above her head like it was a lasso. A soft glow enveloped both of them. As if by magic, Tabby felt the ridiculous outfit she was wearing pop off. Suddenly, she was back in her regular clothes.
Well, glad that worked.
Mr. Monster's whimpers faded into the groan of a rapidly approaching middle-aged teacher. The soft light dissipated. Mr. Teacher blinked once, twice. He struggled instinctively against the decorations binding his legs and looked around the room, horrified. On cue, someone pounded at the door. Miraculously, the locked door swung open and students poured into the room. It was clear from the sound levels that a small crowd had formed outside. Oh no. Oh no. Gossipy chatter turned immediately into horrified gasps that were audible from the hall and maybe even the other classrooms.
I thought I felt an earthquake or something. We couldn't get in.
What even happened here? Where's Mr. Teacher? Tabby, what's going on?
Mr. Teacher? Are you alright?
The other students quickly took in the sight of Tabby looming over their bound and bruised teacher. Shredded construction paper and wood dust fluttered through the air. Tabby's pride at having defeated a monster quickly shifted into nervous apprehension.
That Tabby is something else. Did she seriously ruin our decorations?
Alright then, come on. You had contention to be a top character of mine, but you're slowly fading away. Come on now.
How is that what you're worried about? Mr. Teacher looks like he's on the verge of tears.
Alright, Stu, see, that's what I'm talking about. You've raised up a little bit. Stu's raising up in the world.
Is that really his name?
Yes. Yes it is, Strength.
I'm okay. I'm alright. Okay. Oh, I think I might have broken a rib. Give me one moment.
The other students removed the decorations binding Mr. Teacher's legs, wincing when the paper crafts tore in the process.
Did she beat him up? I didn't know Tabby could be so... I can't even think of a good word.
Shush then. Shush now.
So horrible.
Alright, Tonathan, you're also slowly lowering in the character ranking here. This last accusation finally shook Tabby out of her stupor.
It's not my fault. It was Mr. Teacher. He wasn't himself. He started throwing stuff at the decorations.
That's impossible. Mr. Teacher wouldn't do that. He loves Halloween.
He was a monster.
You weren't there. He turned into a monster.
I can't believe you do all this and lie about it. We thought you were cool.
Ah, for God's sakes, Tonathan, your goddamn creamsicle colored skin tone. I don't... What? Stu, dead, pink, purple, creamsicle, alright? I don't know. What am I even saying? I don't know.
Now, hold on, guys. Let's hear Mr. Teacher's side of things. Is Tabby telling the truth?
Alright, Stu. Stu's in my top 3 now.
I'll be in the nurse's office.
Mr. Teacher got up with multiple groans and winces, gratefully accepting the support of nearby students.
Why won't he tell them?
Doesn't seem like he's in any shape to say much of anything right now, Tabby.
I can't believe this. I can't believe you guys think it was all my fault.
Whose fault is it then? No one else was in here.
Just calm down, Tabs. If you explain yourself well enough, I'm sure they'll listen. Take a deep breath. In, out, and elaborate.
Yes. Strength. You're also in my top 3 right now.
I already did elaborate. There's nothing left to say. I was in the room with Mr. Teacher, and he turned into that horrible beast. He was crushing desks and everything.
real nice story, Tabby. But what does that have to do with wrecking our decorations?
Alright, come on, Stu. Come on now.
My poor paper pumpkins.
We're gonna get disqualified now.
But I didn't wreck them! And I wouldn't have even been put in this situation if it wasn't for...
Enough!
Huh?
This back and forth is getting us nowhere.
Caleb stepped forward and stood between her and the crowd of students. Despite his outburst, he didn't seem angry and smiled kindly at them instead.
I'm sure nobody meant any harm. Things happen, right? Why don't we all just drop the unpleasantness?
For a split second, he directed his smile at Tabby.
We can work out the details later. I'll talk to Tabby, and...
We'll go check on Mr. Teacher.
Fantastic idea. Just what I was going to say.
I'll go too.
Thank you, Stu. You're a real trooper. As for everyone else, shoo. I promise. We've got this handled.
At Caleb's authoritative direction, the group that had formed dissipated. After a few seconds, Tabby was alone with the green-haired boy.
So, is this a friend of yours?
What? No! I don't hang out with other people.
How did I know?
Ignoring Strength's comment, Tabby focused her attention on Caleb, unsure what he wanted with her. Or if she could still trust him after he disappeared on her. The plot thickens. The last thought faded away as Tabby noticed Caleb had a gremlin of his own on his shoulder. Unlike Strength, Caleb's pixie companion had a quieter energy. He stared at Tabby with critical and sleepy eyes.
Looks like there was a lot of destruction.
Indeed, and yet our prize seems to have gotten away. For now.
Who are you again?
I am Caleb. We spoke earlier this morrow.
Did you just use the word morrow in a sentence? Alright, Caleb, you might be in my top 3.
Why does he talk like that? Did he always talk like that?
Sure.
No, not you. That. The little guy.
The name's Magician.
Magician.
And you are Tabitha.
Hold on. Why does everyone know my name? My full name!
Caleb spoke again, pushing his glasses higher up on the bridge of his nose.
You have my apologies. It would seem as though my plans have slightly... what's the word? Misfired.
Misfired? Misfired? That's more than a misfire, you weirdo! You stitched that crazy monster on me?
The answer to that is ambiguous. Yes and no. Both can be, and indeed are, true.
Can you cut the crap? Explain yourself! And use words under 4 syllables, damn it!
Alright, Tabby, you might be in my top 3 too.
My intentions all along have been to get that horrible bully in detention. He's a menace. An annoying, terrible menace. Like a cicada in an otherwise perfectly brewed cup of coffee.
Caleb's tirade came to a sudden halt as Magician wordlessly tugged on his collar. In the response, the boy tilted his head to listen as the pixie whispered something into his ear.
What's that? The metaphor makes no sense?
Magician nodded.
Like a cicada in a screened door. All he does is make a racket without any care of who he's scaring.
You nailed it that time. He stopped for a moment, seeking the pixie's approval. When Magician nodded again, Caleb took it as permission to continue.
As you can see, I'm also a friend of Pixies. My most powerful ally is Magician, the pixie of manipulation.
Magician gave Caleb's collar a sharp tug.
Magical influence.
Uh-huh. Of course.
I can stack any situation in my favor, with the extra power to trigger transformations, often of an unpleasant kind. The assignment was clear from the start. Get Eden to fight the teacher, or wet himself trying. Get Eden sent to detention, ruin Eden's reputation, book a vacation to celebrate, I don't know.
With each word that left Calem's mouth, Strength's round little face twisted into an increasingly worried frown.
If that was your master plan, you failed, Four Eyes. You got me in hot water instead. Your stupid scheme was super convoluted. You think a big Dumbo like Eden could have survived those teeth long enough to get detention? Even if you wanted to terrify him, you didn't have to deadlock the door. I could have been killed!
The door? But that's never happened before. Our power doesn't work on inanimate objects.
I told you it was a terrible plan, Calem. You should have listened to me.
Calem frowned, clearing his throat.
Ahem. I didn't mean for you to get involved, of course. But you were never in any real harm. I would have stepped in. You understand? Had your powers not kicked in. Everything was still within my calculations. And for your sake, we had to keep the monster contained. It would have been a disaster if the beast rampaged through the school. You might have been blamed for some kind of horrible witchcraft.
So you were just looking out for me?
Exactly. You think I would have just abandoned you in your time of need?
Yes.
Of course not. I had to play my cards right for our sake.
Uh-huh.
Which unfortunately involves subjecting you to close proximity with that orange-haired wretch. But he was almost in our grasp. Look how close we got.
Indeed. Imagine what the two of you could achieve together, fully powered up.
Yes, the heights we could reach, the punishment we could inflict.
Or we don't think about that. I'm a big fan of talking things out instead.
Your execution was patchy at best, but I can agree that it would have been pretty entertaining to see that guy suffer for once.
And we've already descended into villainy.
Yes, I knew you would understand.
Oh, no.
Only we can bring that candy gobbling fool to his knees.
So, what did Eden do to you?
What didn't that bully do? He got up to every bit of mischief in the book. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd commit arson on my house, if given the chance. I swear, it was that bad.
Uh-huh. Yes, yes. Finally, someone who understood what she had been through.
Right? He's always getting up to something. It's so frustrating.
It's always like this. He starts the fight and then kicks you while you're down.
Tabby nodded, eyes glistening with vindication.
Things are different now, though. Even a wounded dog will bite. And anyone who would kick a poor, innocent, bone-loving puppy should expect the gnawing of teeth. The teeth of vengeance.
Of retribution.
So what you're saying is, technically, we're not the ones in the wrong here.
Ah, that's always the best use of the word technically.
Eden is an annoying prick. So when I argued with Eden, it was probably his fault.
Huh?
Yes.
In that case, what I really need to do is to use my powers to purge evil.
I don't know about that one.
Yes.
What?
Like you said, there's nothing more evil than tormenting an already tortured soul.
Tabby grinned, gleefully coming to her conclusion.
So if Eden is evil, then I can blast him!
Yes!
No! Are you crazy, Tabby? You're not gonna blast some random kid!
He's not just some random kid, Strength! He's my rival. He's demented and cruel. Just look at him. Who knows what kind of fucked up and wicked plans are brewing under those cheap, box-dyed highlights.
Hey, I'll have you know, I also know a guy with some highlights and, oh wait, what was it? Never mind, sorry.
He's asking for a blasting.
He's cruising for a bruising.
If you blast him, you'll go to magic jail!
He's asking for a highly legal and purely metaphorical blasting.
Ah, well, as long as we put that in the font here of our clause, our Destroy Eden clause.
Well, as fun as it would be to vaporize every annoying person on Earth, there are other ways to get revenge on them.
Fun? Wait, revenge?
What's wrong with some healthy spite strength? You look like someone pissed in your cereal.
Tabby, we can't be talking about the same stuff here. Vanquishing evil is cool, but you're getting it all wrong. Evil isn't just whatever you don't like.
Well, it seems you're being outvoted at the moment. None of us like it.
Besides, vengeance is the strongest emotion there is.
I thought it was love. I'm sorry, it was just too cheesy. I had to say it, of course.
Real strength happens when you want to move heaven and earth for a just cause, right?
And our cause is most certainly just.
Uh-huh. Sure, yeah. That's what a lot of just causes think.
An 8th grade boy.
An 8th grade boy!
Oh, boy. The next day. It was a dark and stormy Tuesday.